Hi, I'm Evan Pantazzi. You're about to watch a video with Dr. Jacob McClintock, and he's going to be discussing his lineage in an Asato set of tegumis. Now, the tegumis, one came from Takioko, one came from Seisan. What we're going to do after that is we're going to expand on it after we hear from him on his lineage, and then in the Patreon and Platinum subscription, we're going to give you the neurological targets that we're after. We're going to show you the drill, and we're going to also show you the applications and the effects of the drill in action. But Mr. McClintock, or Dr. McClintock, the emergency room doctor, he works in many different hospitals, saving lives on a daily basis. And he has a world of knowledge and understanding, not only of the martial arts, because his family has been in the martial arts for almost all of his life. And he trains on a regular basis in Isshin-Ryu and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And he's applied the Kyusho in his work, and he's especially interested in the work that he does with the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because it works flawlessly for him, and they don't know exactly what he's doing, and he's not really explaining, he's just using them more or less as a test bed. And he's finding out that the applications are just brilliant for his grappling skills. Now, he discussed in this upcoming video clip you're going to see here, he's discussing his lineage with Asato and the training on the tegumis, and also a little about them. And again, in the Patreon and the Platinum channels, we'll get into the full application of it. And I have only started working on the Takioko to apply. Now, the reason is that they're both pretty extensive drills. Now, what you're going to see in the Patreon and Platinum subscription is just the beginning. Okay, again, I just got them and have been traveling extensively, but I've started working on them, and they just work brilliantly. And with Kyusho, they're just so much fun, and they have so much more power and potential. And you can see how this would work in a standing application. You can see how it works. You can see how it works in the grappling situation, as I discussed. Dr. McClintock has already experienced and experimented with. So stay tuned and join Patreon if you want to see the application, the effects, and the targets that we're after, or the Platinum subscription. It'll be in both.
Okay. Well, I'm Jacob McClintock. I'm a physician. I'm an ER doctor. I work closely with Evan Pantazzi and Kyusho. This is mostly to explain some of the information that I had received from a 10th degree Shobayashi Shorin instructor. His name is Mazuyuki Ward. His family name was Asato, and he is the grandson of Yasutsune Asato, who was Gichin Funakochi's teacher, one of his teachers, along with Itosu Anko. And his grandfather, Yasutsune Asato, was one of Matsumura's students, Okan Matsumura's students. So he's got quite the lineage. And he was teaching Shorin-Ryu in Shobayashi Shorin-Ryu in Russellville, Arkansas. And I studied with him from 1999, well, before that really, but I was at his dojo almost daily, well, during the week, from 1999 to 2002. The way we got involved with him, my sensei in Isshin-Ryu, Sensei Johnny Huddleston, he's 5th degree black belt in Isshin-Ryu. his master was friends with Master Ward, Master Azato. His name was Chuck Lee Chow, and he was one of A.J. Avincula's first students when he came to America after studying with Shimabuku in Okinawa. And so they were friends, and then Master Chow was killed in a shooting at a gas station that he owned. So he was robbed and shot in the head. Many years before I started studying with Sensei Johnny, and he, Master Ward sort of took over Sensei Johnny's training at that point. And Sensei Johnny would frequently go to Russellville for closed-door instruction, and of course he would relay a lot of the information to us students. I attained a third-degree black belt under Sensei Johnny, and Master Ward presided over the ranking during that rank test. And anyway, so I basically knew Master Ward since I started training with Sensei Johnny at the age of 15. And at age of 18, I went to college at Russellville in order to train with Master Ward, Azato, more. And it was funny, he would, of course we would work the Shorin-ryu katas, the Pinyons mostly, and then of course Taikyoku Shodan, and all of the Shorin-ryu curriculum, but when it would come to kata that were Isshinryu had their version and Shorin-ryu had their version, he would make me do the Isshinryu version, and he wouldn't rank me in Shorin-ryu. He said, "No, you're Isshinryu." So he seemed to value Isshinryu in that way, and almost every day after class, I would go and hang out with him in the afternoons before the adult class. So when the children's class was going, I would hang out with him in his office, and he would just sort of tell me stories about his life and about karate, and we'd just talk. And he had a real thick Okinawan accent, but whenever we were together in the office, that accent miraculously went away. And spoke perfect English. And but he told me all kinds of stories and about his life and about his lineage of karate. His brother is a 10th degree karate master as well in Okinawa, and he would frequently have me come to his house on the weekends. So about once or twice a month, I would go to his house, and we would train some of this, what he would call the secret stuff, in his backyard, and he would show me these wild techniques that I'm going to teach to you. And then also, really interestingly, before every adult class, he would mess around with us students. He would just attack me, and so the students would attack. Say, he'd say, attack me hard, or don't let him do anything. And he would do these crazy grapple techniques in which both our arms would be tied up, in a certain way where we had no mobility of our arms or torso, and he would always have a hand free, and he would always joke that he's turned you into a makiwara. He would tap us on these points, and he would frequently hit these Kyusho areas, and attain like a stun, and then he would hit you on the back of the neck, just like Master Pantazzi does, to reverse things. And he did a lot of other wild things that I don't even want to mention because I don't want the community to say, "Oh, it's woo." But he did a lot of things. He's also a 5th degree in Tomiki Aikido, and I believe, if I remember correctly, a black belt. I think it's black belt, or at least instructor rank in Iedo, the sword drawing technique. I didn't have enough money to afford a katana, so I didn't practice that. But I did do the Aikido class as well. And it's funny, the Aikido stuff, a lot of the stuff that he did was stuff that he had taught me from the katas of Shorin-ryu and Isshin-ryu when he was demonstrating a technique. So it was really neat, and it really flowed together. And then there was in my junior year, the end of my junior year in college, so 2002, he and my sensei had a falling out. And I don't want to discuss it. I'm sure he wouldn't want me to discuss it. But it was a serious issue and caused my sensei to break away from him. And then Master Ward, my senior year, basically told me that he loved me, but I wasn't welcome. And so I had to quit. Wasn't allowed to go back to class. Now before that, it was interesting too. The whole time I studied with him, he had the adult class with Americans, and then after the adult class, there was an Asian class. So Asian students would come in, and all of us Americans were pushed out of the dojo, and he locked the door, and he would have a closed door Asian class for I don't know how long. But they got different instruction from us. And one of the guys lived in my dorm, Patrick, I don't remember his last name, but he was from Thailand, and he actually was a Muay Thai practitioner, but he studied Master Ward too. And of course, he showed me a few things, and it was basically the same thing some of the same things that Master Ward was showing me, secretly, and some of the same things he was just doing to us in class that, I would always just sit there and just watch and just try to pick up what he's doing to people, and I think I was able to get a lot of information that way. But Patrick wouldn't tell me everything. He said, it's a bunch of pressure point stuff, and told me not to tell you. But that to illustrate that there is a separate teaching of karate, 100%, and it's not being taught to Gaijin for some reason. And I don't know it all. I just know a small piece of it that he showed me. And so I think that we can expand upon this kind of understanding of what this is, especially with Master Pantazi's help. So that's my story.
Okay, thanks.